been a minute since we've done PowerBomb Weekly, and that's how
Yes,
I've been
sir.
feeling right there, like in that picture. So it's been a minute. There has stuff has been going on, but not like a lot. So I just want to start off with this. This happened either a week or 2 weeks ago. I can't recall at this point. But last time we did a PowerBomb Weekly, I had mentioned that there was a big fight backstage. CM Punk and the Elite had gotten suspended along with some other people.
hmm
Most of those other people have been reinstated, such as Christopher Daniels and stuff, and them. But Punk is still gone. As far as I know, the Elite is still gone. So Punk, who had just won the title, like, what are we gonna do with the title? They created a tournament, and at the finals of the tournament, we had John Moxley and Bryan Danielson, two of the top guys in all of professional wrestling, going up against each other. And ironically, they are from the same faction. They're from the same group, the Blackpool Combat Club, mentored by one William Regal. So they went for it, and Moxley came out on top. As you could see, he's exhausted. It was a very hard-fought battle, and Moxley is now the first ever three-time AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So
Nice.
shout out to Mox. He's ever since he came to AEW from WWE back when he used to be Dean Ambrose, he proved it. Like he always said, like just give him the opportunity, and he can put a company on his back. WWE never wanted to give him that opportunity. AEW did, and he's always there. Like there was an issue where he had a drinking problem. He had to step away. He went to rehab. He got help. He came back, and he was in better shape than he'd ever been in his life. So Mox is just killing the game as always. Like he's at the height of his career. Like I always knew John Moxley had it in him. I didn't know he was going to reach like these levels, but like
hmm
he's proven like this man is that dominant. Like he's that good that they keep putting the strap or the belt back on him. So shout out to Mox. Love the fact that he's champion again, and it looks like they're going to be building towards him fighting against MJF in the near future. Can't wait to see that. Eslam, if you want to go to the next slide. But
Yes,
once again,
sir.
shout out to Mox. Also, if you're checking this out on the podcast, or if you just listen to the podcast, we have all these images and everything, so you can see exactly who and what I'm talking about on YouTube or on twitch.tv/ThoseWiseGuys. Next up, I want to talk about Saraya Bevis, formerly known as Paige. So she was in WWE. She had gotten hurt, like to the point where they were like, if you wrestle again, you're gonna die. Like one of those people, like an Edge, like a Bryan Danielson, who eventually recovered and came back to wrestling. So she was in the same boat, and she had left WWE a little while ago. I think her contract ran out, or she had asked for her release. She was one of the people who I reported this on this way back in the day on the podcast, where WWE wrestlers wanted to utilize things such as Twitch,
hmm
and she was one of those Twitch streamers. And WWE said you're not allowed to use that. You can't be paid. You have to use your real name, Saraya Bevis, which she then did. And luckily, her her following stayed with her on Twitch, and she became a fairly big on Twitch because she has such a huge following. So Saraya is an amazing wrestler. The fact that she got injured at such a young age is very upsetting. But now she's in AEW. She's using her real name, or it might just be Saraya, to be honest. And seeing her there is great. She has not done anything physical, so we still don't know if she's actually cleared to wrestle or not. She showed up one day, ran into the ring, everybody else ran out, nobody touched her. And then the following week, she went in and she kind of like suggested that there be a lumberjack match. That's when you have two people in the ring, everybody else is outside the ring. If somebody gets out, they have to throw them back in. So she suggested that they do that. So it looks like she's doing like GM stuff as opposed to wrestling, but that could potentially change. And she did make the mention of, well, first off, when she suggested that, she kind of stumbled on the mic, and so of course wrestling Twitter is just like, she doesn't want to talk on the microphone anymore. Bro, shut up. This is Paige. This is Saraya. She's like one of the best women's wrestlers like ever. So trust the woman. She knows what she's doing. And one of the things she said is she's like, "Oh, it's great that you guys did a lumberjack match. Where I used to work, they would never take any of my suggestions and take it to WWE." She's like, "Yeah, Tony Khan's great. I could suggest something to him, and he actually listens." So nice little shot there. And Eslam, if you want to go to the next page, you can. But it's great to see her in AEW. I hope that she can do something physical and she doesn't get hurt. But that being said, let's move on to another AEW story. Chris Jericho, as you can see here, has won the Ring of Honor World title from Claudio Castagnoli. This is huge. Ring of Honor was always known as like the top like quote unquote indie promotion. Some people don't consider it an indie, but it was always like that. Oh, it's that other brand that nobody watches unless you're like a diehard wrestling fan. That's where CM Punk came from. That's where Bryan Danielson came from. Claudio came from. All these wrestlers. You never heard like a big name person wrestle there before or like after they were big, with the exception of Eddie Guerrero, who wrestled there like one time against CM Punk. Somebody as iconic, somebody who might go down as one of, and at some point in the future may be the greatest professional wrestler in history, Chris Jericho, winning this title at this height of his career, at this point of his career, is insane. That like elevated this title so hard, it's not even funny. Like, so it's like you have former WWE champion, former AEW champion, former WCW champion, former New Japan Pro Wrestling champion, former AAA champion, former CMLL champion, now holding the Ring of Honor World title. That is huge.
Does he
And this,
have like almost every big wrestling promotion title right now?
at one point in his career, he's won, I think, just about every one of them. Yeah,
Damn.
like Jericho is the GOAT. He said one of the most like heel, but like it was such a good line. He said once on AEW, he's like, it's when he formed the Jericho Appreciation Society, and he was just like, all of you are so lucky just to be born in the same era as Chris Jericho, so you could witness my greatness or something like that. And I was like, damn. He's like, it's like the planet's been around for this long, and you guys were lucky enough to be born when I was here.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, that is just some
Well,
serious
listen,
stuff.
man, with the charisma, ambition, and talent of Jericho, if he was born any other age, he
Yeah.
would be just as great. He would be one of the conquerors. We
Yes,
would be learning about him in history. Jericho will definitely be one of the biggest part of wrestling history to come. So
absolutely. I mean,
that's pretty amazing, man.
so Jericho winning this title, like I said, is a huge deal. And the storyline that they have going on right now, he has a mentor named Daniel Garcia, who is like this pure like wrestler. And Jericho, ever since doing the Jericho Appreciation Society, it's like a it's like another play on WWE. He's like, we're not wrestlers, we're sports entertainers, because they're
Mm.
trying to make fun of WWE. And Daniel Garcia's part of his group is like, you're not a wrestler, you're a sports entertainer. And Daniel Garcia is like one of the best pure wrestlers there is.
Yeah.
So he actually holds the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, where there's like specific rules. It's like more of a wrestler's belt. Like there's specific
Yeah.
wrestling rules. Um, so Jericho is just like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna win the world title, and he did. And he's like, I'm gonna go after every former great Ring of Honor wrestler, and I'm gonna defeat all of them and prove that a sports entertainer is better than a wrestler. So like that's his thing. I think one of the next people he's going after is Bryan Danielson, who many
Nice.
people consider one of the best wrestlers, if not the best wrestler ever. So that's gonna be cool. So seeing Jericho do that is great. One more thing, you can start switching over, Eslam. One more thing I want to mention about Jericho is in the Cobra Kai show,
Mm.
there was a moment where Stingray, Disco, I don't know if you finished Cobra Kai, but I think right before the last episode where they go into Stingray's house and they try to confront him and do stuff.
Yeah.
He's walking out of his car and he's singing along to Jericho's theme song from AEW, the one that he wrote with his band. And as he's like, they play in the car, I'm like, is that Judas? I was like, I know the Judas song. Every AEW fan knows. And he's singing it. They turn the car off and he continues singing it as he's walking to the house. So like, bro, Jericho made it on Cobra Kai. Like, that's it. All
That's
right,
awesome.
so
I didn't
yeah.
notice that.
Oh yeah. Who killed the world? You did. This is so there's a storyline going on with WWE. It's very cryptic and I love it when
I'm
they do stuff
guessing
like
this is
this.
about Hangman Page.
No, Hangman Page is an AEW wrestler.
Oh damn.
So this is
Okay.
WWE now. So there's the mystery of the White Rabbit that's been going on in WWE. I don't know if you guys could see this. Of course, if you're listening to the podcast, check out the YouTube. Right above Eslam's little square there's a little tiny white rabbit that's standing there. So what's been happening is on WWE, this white rabbit appears in certain images. At one point during the show, and they went so hard, they did this during a commercial, so only people that were in the arena knew, and then they posted it online. Where at one point, all the music turned, all the lights turned off during a commercial. Red lights came on, and they were playing this really old song. I can't remember what it was, but it was like this weird thing, and everything was red, and everyone's like, "What the fuck's going on?" And if people started hinting, "Is this a Bray Wyatt thing? Is the Fiend coming back?" And then they've been hinting at stuff like this. And then lately they did this, where it's like the little hangman, "Who killed the world? You did." And a famous Bray Wyatt quote was, or a thing is, he would always say that he has the whole world in his hands. and he
Hmm.
would have everybody in the arena start singing that song, and then they would like he called them fireflies. They would flash their flashlights. Everything would turn dark. You just see flashlights just singing. He's got the whole. It was he is the next version of the Undertaker. He's the modern day Undertaker. So it's looking like potentially they could be bringing back Bray or the Fiend, and that is something that if Triple H pulls this off and he brings back Bray Wyatt, Triple H might be the greatest goddamn promoter in WWE or in wrestling history. Like he's already killing it with everything he's doing. Um, the only thing is, there's a wrestler in WWE right now called Killer Cross, who was very much linked to rabbits in the past in Lucha Underground, with the White Rabbits and stuff like that. So I don't know if this is leaning towards him. I hope not. I really hope it's Bray. Everybody wants it to be Bray. We want the Fiend. We need the Fiend back in our lives. But it's just a cool mystery. I always loved when WWE did stuff like this. They would do it for Undertaker. They would do it for Jericho. They did it for Edge. If they could do this for Bray and bring Bray back and just kill it in WWE. And like I said, I want the war of AEW and WWE really to just like go head to head and just bring out the best in each other. But yeah, man, the White Rabbit. That's all I got for my wrestling news. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen with the rest of it.